Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shining Light video podcast show, where I shine a light on my guests and the positivity they're spreading in their communities. Today, I have a past podcast guest. He was on the Michael Esposito show. We went on extensively about his entrepreneurship, his journey through rising through the ranks and taking over the company. He overcame so much adversity and is here today to help you as an entrepreneur, as a business leader in your community with some really awesome program that he has coming out, a really great conference that he's putting on. Please welcome my friend, Nestor Gutierrez. Welcome to the show.
There we go. Sorry. Hey guys, it's really nice to be on here. Thank you, Michael, for having me on here. You're amazing. Thank you for putting this together. You have a great community, and I'm super excited to be on here.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm happy to have you on. We got to know each other, which, by the way, everybody check out the Michael Esposito show streaming on all platforms, and you'll find his episode. We got to know each other really well. We really dug deep into your family history and how you went from being an immigrant family and rising up to being now the owner and CEO of a really large organization that is creating a movement in your community. And part of the movement that you're creating is to impact entrepreneurs and their lives positively. And so, to that point, the reason why you're on the show today is to promote this conference that you're putting on called the Infinite Growth Expo. And I'd love if you could share with everybody what the Infinite Growth Expo is and how they can get their hands on some tickets, which, by the way, everybody, it'll be in the comments.
Yeah, of course. So if you guys go on the website infinitegrowthexpo.com, you can find more information on it. But the Infinite Growth Expo, I mean, the name says it all. I wanted to create a conference that is purely just like focused on entrepreneurship. But like we always hear, entrepreneurship, like we hear the good side, but no one really talks about the bad side, like the struggles, So what I focus on is bringing on speakers that, come from very poorly backgrounds to success. And I've had people too joining us that went up really high and they lost it all and they came back up, So those are the people who you can really relate when you're starting a business, you're struggling in business. So I don't want to bring a speaker that, is perfect. We want to make sure that we bring speakers that, that they can connect with the audience, So the Infinite Growth Expo is just that, we're focusing on helping you grow, scale your business, helping you connections, and bringing in valuable people to make life easier for you. So go
You
ahead.
mentioned you're talking about you're bringing people from the entrepreneur space that have gone from failure, from bust, from not being able to make it to overcoming all of those challenges. My big word for the year has been resilience. So by being resilient and rising to the top, and so what people can expect from this, from what I've gotten from you, is kind of a roadmap from the ugly, from the challenge, from the beaten down, a roadmap to success, which I think is really, really valuable. And in that, you have a lineup of amazing speakers. And before you get to the speakers, I want to just let everybody know why I'm so excited to hear about this and why I've had so much excitement leading up to this meeting with you today. Is we're following each other on socials, Nestor and I. And recently he came up in my feed and I'm just like, whoa, wait a second, where is he at right now? And you're like on this huge like TV show looking set where there's a panel and they got their desks and the microphones and you got this and you have this awesome like suit on and I'm just like, man, I'm like, did I really have him on the Michael Esposito show? Meanwhile, he's doing all that. And come to find out, you were actually, I'd love for you to share on one of your speakers that you're going to have at the conference. You were on his show. So I'd love if you could share a little bit about that experience and then maybe share with us who that speaker is. You could unveil it.
Yeah, it's crazy because I never even thought that was gonna happen this year. Like it was kind of like one of those moments that like you're there but you can't believe it. It took me a while, like until I went up there and it was time to go. Like I got a little nervous at first, but I'm like, hey, like you're already here, you make the best out of it. But it was a great experience. I felt at home, when they made me like feel so welcoming. So they're great people. And it was an experience that David said, start getting used to this, because this is going to be happening more often. We're going to be bringing you on the show more often, and then we want to make you part of the panel. I'm like, damn. So it's an opportunity that is growing from the event. So when we look at things, when we say that if you really get after it, things do come in, at some point. And that's where I'm at right now. Like after putting in so much work, like things are starting to like the puzzle's starting to come together. And that's a very powerful in the movement that we're doing right now, because I'm full of like connections and networking just because of this one speaker, so I'm very grateful for that.
And so, who is this? What was the show you were on?
Mm-hmm.
And where did you get to go on the show? Because you mentioned it to me, or I'll tee you up on that. You mentioned SoFi Stadium, and you mentioned Las Vegas.
Yes.
So who is? What's the show? Who is it? And who is the speaker that we're talking about?
We're talking about David Meltzer. A lot of people may know him. He's all over the United States, always speaking, going to events. He has a studio. It's Blue Wire Studios in Las Vegas at the Wynn Hotel. And he has a podcast at the podcast studio at the LA Rams SoFi Stadium. So I actually went on the podcast at SoFi Stadium, first time I've been to the stadium, and also got the opportunity to go on the show. His TV show is called Office Hours with David Meltzer. It plays in the local TVs right here, and also when you go to LAX, you might run into it watching the TV.
That's awesome. So while you're in your travels, you just might run into Nestor right on the big screen. I love it. I love it. And so David's going to be one of the speakers talking about his rise from the ashes, essentially. Who else do you have? I know you have a whole lineup of different speakers. And what should people be expecting from some of these speakers?
So it's crazy because I started with David Meltzer, and as I went getting more speakers, at the end of the day, like without even trying, like all these speakers, they know each other. And it's good to have, because there's a connection, So we have Greg Reed, who's a author, and he has once again a great story. His background's amazing. He has his own event too. But if you guys have heard about Napoleon Hill, he's part of the foundation with Think and Grow Rich. Yep. So one of the books that he has is 3 Feet from Gold, amazing book. So he's actually going to be handing out books in the conference, signed copies, original copies. He has original copies from Think and Grow Rich. So he always goes above and beyond, and he hands out 1 or 2 to the audience. We have also Chris Colley. It's a very powerful woman that has made multiple exits of 9 figures or more. She's very well known as well in the United States. She has spoke at Harvard, Stanford, the best universities you can think of. So we're bringing her over. Woman power, and then also we're having Tim Story. A lot of people may know Tim Story. The more than anything, what I love about Tim is that the mindset that he has. Like anything's possible to him, and like when he goes up on stage, you really feel his energy, and like he really passes that on to you, and it's very powerful. It's hard to explain. You have to be there. Like his story once again is amazing. A kid in Compton that grew up with poverty, like really bad, and now is like helping and like just helping so many lives nationwide, worldwide. I know he's in Paris right now, like doing events. So very powerful. And that's like some of the top speakers that we're having. And we're also having like local speakers, leadership, focus, and we want to make sure that at the end of the day, in order to have a kingdom, you gotta be a great leader and make sure that your team is in good hands. So that's what we're focusing on.
Awesome. And so with all of these great speakers, what's one takeaway that you feel your audience is going to be able to walk away with from this conference?
The biggest takeaway that everyone's going to walk away with is everyone's going to share tools that they can automatically right away start taking action in. I know Tim Story is going to give a roadmap of how to structure a business properly. That's worth a lot of money if you go one-on-one with them. So I know sometimes we get into business, we don't need to understand the word business, but we're good at something. So I think that's going to be the most powerful takeaway for most businesses. And even if you know what you're doing, I mean, we're talking about someone that is making like 9 figures or more, in business. So I think that's going to be the biggest takeaway.
Awesome. And I promise everybody that is watching live with us or that is watching this replay right now that they would get some sort of tip or business advice from you personally. What's something that maybe these speakers, because I know that some of them are mentors to you too from the groups that you're a part of, what's
Yeah.
something that you've taken that was a takeaway for you that you can share with everybody today?
For me, like I have a really big connection with David Meltzer. I love the person he is, and more than anything, I love how he teaches. It's very like very simple. He like every time he talks to me, it's like he's talking to a fourth grader, and that makes it easy to understand. But for me, it's like more than anything is the law of attraction. He says, no matter what you think belongs to you, if you don't take action, like it's not gonna happen. So you gotta have a clear vision on what you want, and at the end of the day, like you have to put in the work. And if you put in the work, everything's gonna be possible. Everything's gonna come your way. So that's what I live by. The law of attraction, but also the law of action. Like nothing's gonna happen on its own.
Oh, that's the first time I've heard that. The law of attraction and the law of action. You gotta bring them together. I always say, I just pointed to a poster in my room that nobody could see. I always say take action. Like what I have up there is an event that I put on called the Take Action series, and I always say take action. So that's another great take on it in terms of we always talk about the law of attraction, but you got to take action in order to make it happen. I
Yep.
think the big takeaway that you just mentioned from that mentor is having a clear vision, because you're not going to be able to attract what you want, and you're not going to be able to take action on what you're trying to attract if you have no idea what it is.
Exactly.
And I just had a client this morning, and what we were speaking about, we were talking about feedback, and he was saying, I just want to get feedback from people. And I said, great. So how are you asking for it? They said, well, just give me your feedback on this video. But what are you asking for? We have to be specific in everything that we're asking for. So who's the ideal client? Where are they located? What do they look like? What does the business look like? Now we can attract it, like in the law of attraction. And then now we can take action on it to be able to move forward. So I love that. And I hope that whoever's watching right now, this has helped you, and wherever you are in your business or working for somebody in a business. That's where Nestor started. Nestor started working for someone. You got to listen to the whole show to find out more about that. This conference, it's taking place August 10th. How can people get their hands on some tickets, Nestor?
If you go on infinitegrowthexpo.com, you'll find all the information. If you want a really good price for being on here and taking action and coming into this live, follow me on Instagram, Nestor Gutierrez. Send me a DM, and I'm gonna give you a discount code. So we'll do that. And then, like I said, it's gonna be August 10th, Pomona, California. The airport is really close to the location for the same reason, to make it convenient. And I'm really excited.
So that's awesome. So it's in Pomona, California, August 10th. Just go to the comment section, click on the link, go to his website, and then if you DM him on one of the social media platforms, he's going to shoot you over a discount code. Also, when you get to LAX, make sure that you're watching the TV monitors, because you might actually see him on there. It's been so awesome having you on here today. Before I give you the final words, I just want to share with everyone that on May 15th, I am doing a 72-hour fast. And so leading up to that, I'm hoping you might be able to support me in my mission to help the people in Haiti. I'm supporting the Forgotten Children of Haiti and the St. Luke Foundation's agricultural program. And so I'm hoping to raise awareness for the people in Haiti and raise some money for the agricultural program, which has tilapia tanks, a bakery, food pantry, in order to feed the people in Haiti. So I'm not eating in order to hopefully raise some money for the people who need our help and support. So all you need to do is just go to michaelespositoinc.com in order to learn more about this fundraiser and how to donate. With all that being said, Nestor, I want to give you the final words on the positivity you're spreading in your community today.
It's all about, I always say, it's all about dreaming as big as you can possibly can and put in the work. We can all do it. No one's different. No one's better in this world. So just go out there and make the best life that you can possibly make.
Can't be said any better than that. Thanks, everybody, for joining us today. This has been the Shining Light Video Podcast Show. We're live every Thursday at 1 p.m., bringing you amazing people just like Nestor. Nestor, thanks so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
See you soon, everyone. Stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll talk to you then. Bye.
Bye.